Hello, in England today we're doing a very interesting little piece of furniture. This is a French bombe or serpentine fronted commode or chest of drawers. I mean, commode in England means toilet, so in England be careful using the word commode because there's two meanings. But in France that is a commode, it is a chest of drawers. This is a small baby-sized commode, and traditionally people used to say, oh, it's an apprentice piece, or a child made it, or it was for a child. I don't know whether this is an apprentice piece, or it's made by a child, or for a child, I don't know. My feeling is it's an apprentice piece, or it is probably more likely to be a model for, as a sample, where a joiner would come to your house and say, well, we can make this one, how big do you want it? And they would have 6'1" or 4'1" or whatever. I think it's more likely to be made by a professional, because it's very, very well made sides. We'll get on to that in a minute. So I don't think it's made by a child. I don't think it's made by an apprentice. I think it's made by a joiner, carpenter, cabinet maker, and it was carried in a horse and cart, and the owners of these houses would be showing this, maybe a few others, and they would then order the one in the size they wanted, or they might order two the same. I'll just go over some of the detail on this little piece of furniture. The reason it's French is because you have repousse brass escutcheons, very French. You don't get repousse in England very much. They would be solid. So these are pressed tin-like brass escutcheons, very French. They fit in these little oval sections, so they're the original escutcheons. It has very French apron at the front, very French looking feet. You take a look at the drawers. You have a continental looking lock, quite easy to spot an English lock. Often an English lock will have words on it like lever or the manufacturer's name. French locks don't tend to have that, but I'd say that is a continental lock. The key, I think from memory, works in all three. That might well be the original key. It has the sort of right sort of look to it. It's steel and brass. Don't think that's a replaced key. It certainly works on that one there, but be careful you don't lock it and then it doesn't work the other way. So check the key before you lock any of these drawers if you buy it. Now the really most important thing to look for when you're buying something with drawers is to look at the drawer, and what you need to look at is the back of the drawer plate. And you can't see it here because it's covered, again very unusual, but you're really looking not to find plywood. Plywood means it's 20th century. Though plywood you start to see plywood about 1880, so it's a sign. So you're looking for plywood. There's no plywood on this at all. It's all solid. And then we're looking at the dovetails. Now French furniture, like Maltese furniture, is notorious for extremely basic dovetails, really more basic than you would believe. And the carcass was considered a carcass, and don't be put off by extremely basic dovetails on drawer linings on French furniture. Even 18th century furniture, you will find it, and you want to find it because it's a sign of authenticity. In Maltese furniture you will find wood which is reclaimed wood. You will find timber reclaimed from shipyards. You might have an orange crate in it, it might have a tea chest in it. Again, in Malta, do not let it put you off. You will find reclaimed wood in Maltese, even antique furniture. It's just the nature of the fact it was an island. So now we're going to go back to the chest. As I said, bow fronted. Well, it's less bow fronted, more serpentine fronted. Bombe. Bombe really means a bend that way and that way. Bombe really means bellies, but people call them bombe. It's really serpentine fronted, technically. Corners with a panel. You have dowels showing from the front. You have moulded inset panels on the front. You have lines of carving. You have the lovely shaped apron. You have the moulded top. And we're going to go to the side. You have a beautiful panel. This is fielded panelling, which means you have a frame, and within the frame, before it is stuck together and doweled together, you have a couple of planks which are fielded, meaning it is carved so it's thin. The thin section sticks into a groove in the frame, and it all goes together like a kit. Wonderful. Expensive to do. Difficult to do. The back is a plain panel because it's the back. At the top, it has a border of mitered wood but not at the front. That's a very French thing. You'll see it on a lot of French furniture, even late French furniture. The bottom. Showing really a authentic construction. Dowels again, oak, feathered oak. Nothing there to make you think, oh dear, look at that. That's really how you want it to look. Dates. Now, I don't think this is a period chest of drawers. Period meaning, I don't think this was made in the 18th century. I think it was probably made in the early 19th century. It's very possibly very possibly late 18th century, but I think it's probably more likely to be early 19th century. Just a feeling I have. So, very small, beautiful thing, very unusual, very desirable. They're not inexpensive, these little chest of drawers. We do have a few. They're never cheap, I'm afraid. When you're buying these little chest of drawers, there is one pitfall I will warn you about. You'll find that many of them are the drawers of dressing tables, which are taken off. So you'll have a dressing table with 2 or 3 drawers with a mirror. The dealers take the mirror off. They sell the mirror. They take the drawers off. They have some feet. They have a pair of chest of drawers. They have a dressing table with holes in the front and the top. They make it into a desk. So you'll find that many small ones of these, with the two or the 3 drawers, are often dressing table drawers made into little chests. And you have to watch for reproductions. You have to watch for these basic child ones, which I've alluded to. So there are good ones, there are bad ones, there are ugly ones, there are fake ones, there are wrong ones. There's a whole variety. So use your take your time to look at these items and consider them, because they are expensive. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. I'll just hold the camera up to give you a better view. This is in England. It's the collection in England. Thank you.